Hi, my name is Greg Spence. I am the founder of Mystery to Mastery and the creator of the Windworks course. And I am a Yamaha artist. I play trumpet professionally. I dabble in other brass instruments, and I basically travel around either gigging or teaching. I live up here in beautiful Queensland now, spending most of my time on the Windworks course. And if you're a brass player, I humbly request you go and check it out. Now, Jenta from the music place has said, Greg, we're getting our social media happening, and can you give us a bit of a profile on your career? And given the fact that I was going to do something for my channel on one of the brass chats, just to give you an idea of how I got to where I am now, this is the perfect opportunity to a bit of cross-pollination, kill two birds with one stone. So Jenta, thank you for asking, and good luck at the music place. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is how long have I been playing and why did I start? So I started off, actually my mum was a piano player and still dabbles, and as a kid I was confused why if you hit two notes that were right next to each other, why I thought it sounded good when most people would go, that sounds bad. So over years you go, well, there's a major seven or a semitone thing, flavour going on, and you don't know that as a 5-year-old kid. But there was something in the colour of the sound that made me realise that I was going to be a musician. I played piano for a little while, and the old story of getting hit on the knuckles when you made a mistake soon put pay to that when I was in grade 3 or grade 4. Poor young little guy. Used to remember being in tears practicing. Hated it. Unfortunately, I don't play piano anymore, but I love it, and I wish that I had have maintained it. So if you play or you're thinking of giving up but you still like other instruments, I recommend highly staying on the piano as well. It's just such a valuable tool. I've been playing trumpet brasses for about 35 years. I started with the Wodonga Citizens Brass Band, and in fact my mother found them when I was living in Wodonga, and I wanted to play saxophone, and of course the brass band doesn't have saxophone, so they said start on cornet, and then you can just learn music and then go and play saxophone. And it just so happened that I loved the cornet and I loved the band and loved practicing, and lo and behold I kept playing it. I was in the Wodonga band for about 6 years, and then I did year 12 HSC VCE music, and then gave up for a few years. I wasn't really doing much playing, and then I kind of got a bit sad not playing, so I took it up again. I started practicing and auditioned for the Victorian College of the Arts, and so I moved to Melbourne to do a Bachelor's of Music Performance, which was great fun. And lo and behold, my preference of music, and this is an interesting thing with my course, because I don't want my education knowledge to be sort of guided by the style of music that I like to play. I love commercial music, big band music, pop and rock horn sections, and jazz, and so that's my favourite style. But as far as sound creation goes on wind instruments, it doesn't really matter what style you like to play. The issues that people have with their playing and the things they need to work on are universal regardless of the style of music. So that's really an interesting one. So my main gigs were, I started off, one of my first gigs was for the AFL footy show at the Tennis Centre in front of 15,000 people, and not long after I played with Shirley Bassey, getting to play Goldfinger and all that stuff at the Melbourne Concert Hall. This is first year out of university, and then a TV show called In Melbourne Tonight started, so I did that. Another show called Hey Hey It's Saturday I was doing a bit of before they both got axed at the same time. I don't read much into that or take it personally. But I was very, very fortunate to have those television experiences, as well as the TV Week Logie Awards, which is like the Emmy Awards, I think, and and the carols by candlelight on Christmas Eve. So to have played some TV gigs was very exciting. Then, of course, Dancing with the Stars came along, which was very unexpected and very exciting for 10 years. Outside of that, big band gigs, little combos, a Latin band called Los Cabrones, and just all sorts of styles of music, and a lot of excuse me, a lot of recording sessions. So you name it, I've kind of been there as far as trumpet playing goes. I've been fortunate enough to play with all of the orchestras in Australia, with people like Tim Minchin and Herbie Hancock and James Morrison, Olivia Newton-John, the list goes on. I've been really, really lucky. And then teaching-wise, I've been all around the world. I've spoken at the Midwest Clinic. I did that's in Chicago at Christmas time every year, just before Christmas, doing a presentation called Dispelling Brass Playing Myths. Now, it amazes me that I actually run a website. My priority now is, part of the reason for moving is to get the Windworks course happening, because, of course, when I'm in Melbourne, I was flat out gigging and teaching a lot, so I didn't have the time to focus on the course. So part of the reason of moving up here was to finish this course off, which is now done. So they're my preferences in styles and what I've done work-wise and gig-wise. As I said, I'm a Yamaha artist, so as a lead trumpet player, I play on a Bobby Shoe 8310Z, and in fact, I did a recording session 2 days ago, and it was, they've put a Series 3 out of Bobby's 8310. Oh no, it was 6310Z, and then 8310, and then there's a Series, so Series 2, then Series 3. So the first time I touched this Series 3 was in the recording studio. But hey, why not? It's a stress-free gig. And let me tell you, this just when you think you've got an instrument that couldn't get better, it's just one of the most beautiful instruments. And why do I play it, or have played these ones? Because of the sound and the way that they feel. Now, it doesn't matter what instrument you play, you want it to feel good and you want it to sound good. So I use, for my lead commercial playing, the 8310 with a Marcinkiewicz mouthpiece, and to be really precise, the Marcinkiewicz Bobby Shoe Custom 1.5. And for, if I want a darker sound, I want to blend in an orchestral section or something like that, I've got both the Chicago and the New York Zeno trumpets that I use, either a 1.5C or a 3C equivalent. So that's my gear. That's what makes the instrument for me. The way that it sounds, the way that it feels. And what do we need to do as players to ensure the baton is passed on? Yes, indeed. This is a really broad question, but it's very subjective as well. So what baton are we talking about? From a player perspective, the things I think that got me working full-time, basically I was a full-time freelance player with a bit of teaching on the side. I didn't really, for the last 20 years, last 15 years teach in schools or anything like that. I was just performing all the time, was to be versatile. Greg, can you do this? Yep. Greg, can you do this? Yep. I will do anything that involves playing the trumpet. And I've done some wild, crazy things. Played on stilts. I've played the horse fanfare, the call to the post at the big race days when Black Caviar and all these. I had never played for Winks, unfortunately. But all of these, I remember Cox Plate Day and playing the fanfare and 10,000 really drunk people screaming their heads off after you do it. It's hilarious fun. I've led the grand final parade wearing a football costume and dressed up as a Grand Prix driver at the Grand Prix. And then at the same week, I might be sitting in a bow tie with the Melbourne or the Sydney Synth playing the West Side Story movie, all the songs from Pixar or something like that. So I think the best advice I can give is for students to, not take themselves too seriously, have a lot of fun, take the job seriously, but don't be too serious about it. Have a lot of fun, be easy to get along with, turn up on time, do all the professional things. Be versatile, be employable, be someone that people like being around. When we're doing music, it's not like we're sitting in an account, not bagging accountants or any engineers or anything, but it's different to sitting in an office just doing a job. You're communicating and you're sharing the love of the music, and there's a vibe, and the better vibe you've got with the people around you, the better the result is. So I think thinking as a community when you're playing, even if it's a small combo or a 100-piece orchestra, how do we gel together and make the most exciting sound possible? As an educator, and I'm dealing with it at the moment, where in brass world we buzz the mouthpiece, or do we buzz the mouthpiece? And there are a lot of people very set in their ways, very traditional methods that have been around for 100 or more years. And whilst those methods have created some amazing players, there is more to it for others. It's extraordinary that I'm here living the life that I am. I teach on Skype, and I teach literally some of the best players you will have ever heard, and some of them you will have actually heard playing, and they have issues with their playing. So here I am, after years of reading physics books and all of the trumpet methods and all that sort of stuff, being here, helping people with bizarre concepts that they would never have considered doing, but it's all about changing the way we think about playing. So the message is, be open-minded, that what works for you doesn't work for everyone else. Or if you're having trouble, don't be scared to experiment. Some of the things that I've done to try and get over my technical barriers have been quite extraordinary. And so I would love people to have an open mind and go, so what have you been working on? And how does that work for you? And are you having some problems? And let's talk about this, and let's come up with a solution. So I think it's all about community and less competitiveness and more collaboration as far as education goes, and of course music. So that's my career in a nutshell. I wish Genta all the best at his new position at the Music Place in South Melbourne, Victoria. And please, if you're a brass player, I would ask you to jump along across to, I'll put the description down below if you're seeing it through the YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, the Windworks course. There's a free Largo State of Stage to really get you started. There's heaps there. It's lots of fun. Come and say hi and say that you saw the Music Place video. Ask any questions and let's keep the conversation happening. I hope you have a wonderful day, and for all of your musical needs, head to the Music Place, Clarendon Street, South Melbourne. Have a good day.